everybody. What does your mug say, Tiff?
It says, be you.
Oh, I'm surprised somebody didn't give that to me.
There's a crown on the other side, but it's got lipstick all over it, so I won't show you that.
That's
but
awesome.
I thought that was a perfect mug today to show you for what we're going to talk about, and that's snow.
Okay, I like it.
Okay, have you heard, that snowflakes are unique and there are no two snowflakes the same?
Right. Are you gonna debunk that myth?
I'm sorry, I'm going to. It's a myth. It actually, in 1988, a Wisconsin scientist is the one that found two identical snowflakes right here in Wisconsin. They're twins.
They had the same DNA?
Apparently, the exact same pattern.
Really?
Right here in Wisconsin. Yep.
Wow. I always thought it was kind of special that every snowflake was unique.
Well, but there's twins everywhere, right? There's twin souls, twin flames. There's twin snowflakes, baby.
Yeah. I feel like there might be more important things than that to study, but that's okay.
I know. Who's got the time to literally compare the patterns and why did he find them? Oh,
right.
Well, we'll never know,
Yeah.
nor do we need to.
We'll take his word for it, right?
Exactly. Yesterday we had that author on who was talking about fear.
Yeah, stopping fear before it stops you.
Yes, and I loved what you said, where you said, with anxiety, because it's something you've dealt with a lot too, is that sometimes fear and anxiety aren't rational, right?
Right.
Right. So I thought this was kind of a nice reminder. I had a friend on not long ago, my friend Sarah, who's a teacher.
Yes.
And she had this great technique, and maybe you remember it, about how she dealt with fear, because she says fear is really just your ego, right? Which is meant to protect us, but sometimes it gets out of hand because it's irrational and it, diminishes us. So she names her fear. She gives it a name. That little voice or that critic. She gives it a name, she personifies it, and then she writes down all the things that her friend, because she does friend it, and says it doesn't give her, writes down all the things that it's saying to her, and then says, okay, this is what my friend is saying to me, I'm going to do the opposite. And she said by personifying it, it sort of releases her as if that fear is really just some bad advice.
Interesting, because they talk about befriending your fears or befriending anxiety, which is tough to do because we talked about how uncomfortable the feeling is. But I think anytime you give something a name or you give something a label, it does two things. One, it allows you to identify it, so then you can manage it more easily because it has a name. It has just like if you have a diagnosis with an illness. Mm-hmm. But I also think it somehow serves to minimize it once it has a name. It's not some scary, spooky, abyss.
It's not so big.
Exactly. It's something that has a name that you can, like you say, personify, but it's something that you can then manage, which I think is fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, I do too. So I thought we'd kind of follow up and give that little tip. It was kind of nice. A lot of people are regifters. Are you?
No, not really. And part of it's because most of the gifts that I get, I really want to keep and use.
That's true. And oftentimes, sometimes it'd be within the same circle that would like that type of gift.
Yeah.
But 52% of people do regift. That's the statistic. Do you want to guess what the most common item is that they regift?
So more than half. I'm torn between candles and wine. Now, wine is something I might regift because you might get a really nice bottle of wine that you think a friend who likes a really good red, for example, so you might give that. No, neither one of those?
Neither one of them.
Oh.
I got this as a gift. I'm not going to regift them, but it is
socks.
Socks.
Bring me tacos if you can read this. That's hilarious. People regift socks.
I probably had them swapped around. I don't know what side's what, but
you can't regift those because those are perfect just for you.
I know. And I saw on Instagram today someone say, it was Riggs on Kiss FM. He's like, I heard recently that socks are just foot gloves, and now I can never get that out of my mind. So I thought I'd tell you that too.
Just don't sleep in them. Do me a favor and don't sleep in them.
That's right. You hate that, don't you?
I do. I don't like.
What if you have like thieves oil or something on your feet to like moisturize your foot or do something healthy to them? It's still gross to you?
I would do it during the day. Yeah, it's still gross. No, you got to let your feet breathe. That's my theory.
All right, don't get rid of the socks.
Right, but there are some things that you can get rid of right now that you won't miss, and this is something that's also going to free up space for you for holiday decorations that you need to store, maybe family possessions that you have, things that you want to hang on to and keep. So one is old Halloween costumes, and I will admit, I have old Halloween costumes from my kids who are like toddlers and my dog that no longer fit. So get rid of the old Halloween costumes because a lot of people could really use them. And it's a great way to recycle them because other people would want to, and a lot of times people only wear them once. The other thing is expired spices. The thing is with spices is they do have a shelf life. They can last a long time. But you know, the thing is they're meant to add flavor to food. And if they're expired and long overdue, they're not going to add any flavor or do anything for the things you're cooking.
And you can't just open them up by rubbing them once they're that old.
Right. Yeah. They get past the rubbing stage it sometimes. And then the other thing I think is funny is exercise equipment that you no longer use, because a lot of people turn treadmills, for example, into coat hangers and things like that. They hang clothes and other things on them, but a lot of times they just collect dust. But it's time to let them go because some people will make good use out of them.
Well, that's funny because actually that's what happened at Christmas at my mom's house this year. We actually took the tree down for her right away. Normally we would wait until the Epiphany, as you know, in January to take it down.
Yeah.
But because it basically was a tree that she wouldn't be able to get down herself, and she's alone for most of the time right now, my brother and I took it downstairs. And so as we're like, where should we put it? Because it's a new tree, so it's a little bit bigger. She got it regifted to her. And so we were like, let's put it on the treadmill because she doesn't use the treadmill. She's never used the treadmill. So we set the tree up on the treadmill as if it's running on the treadmill. So that's where her tree is at the moment. She'll find it someday soon.
That's awesome. There's another use for a treadmill. It's a tree holder.
There you go. Well, that's our sound off for today, right? We want you to go to Facebook and sound off. Do you re-gift? That's what we want to know. Tell us what it is, too, if you've got a good item that's good for re-gifting.
I'm shocked it's not candles. All right.
No, socks.
I love candles, but.